Time for part 2 of the Eclipse haul, and these are half price. So here's the second part of my haul from Park Avenue Thrift, a few estate sales, and the bin store. I hope you found the first one, but if you didn't, go back and look. There's some good deals in there too. Here's a few things that I bought, and I'll tell you what I paid for them. Most of them were at half off, or they were at bin store prices. So the first one that I got was a Mr. Bingle cup. Coffee cups sell really well. You want to put them in a nice box, to send them, and they can be quite expensive to send off, but at half of 99 cents, that won't be too bad, even if you did the shipping yourself. Of course, I always charge the shipping, but I got a Mr. Bingle with Christmas coming up. We got that, and I got that at Salvation Army. This one also came from Salvation Army. This is the End of the Rainbow, the 1982 World's Fair, Knoxville, Tennessee, which is close to my area. I live outside of Memphis. And it was half of 99. And I was so excited. I found me a Starbucks. This isn't one of the most expensive ones. It's a little more common, but it is one that's got the chart on the side. A lot of times those are very desirable. They like things like that. So this one was $1.99, and I paid half. It was marked $1.99. That was at Salvation Army on half off day. I also picked up a couple of these. I'll probably put these in my booth. You'll see that it's got Dollar General on the bottom at $2. Well, that'll probably come off of there, frankly. And I'll take that off because this is going to be something that's going to sell in my booth. I don't usually put competitive prices on things that are in my booth. I'll go ahead and take those kind of things off. But I got the little gingerbread people. That's going to be something that'll sell really well. The price that I paid was 50 cents. It was half of 99 on that. And I'm just going to try and go through these pretty fast if I can. This was what you saw in the opener. This was a little rubber band back, and this is wooden here. I'm going to put this in my booth as well. I'll probably try and sell that just outright in my booth. I imagine some little child will love to be a witch for school or something like that. Got that. And I think I paid $0.25 for that at the bin store. I got this belt at the bin store. It was $1. It's marked leather, and it's just one of the nice wide ones. It's got just a nice look to it. And the buckle's kind of plain, but that's something, with a fancy belt like that, that's something that'd be really nice. But it's probably about 3 inches wide. Something like that. I gave $1 for that at the bin store. I also dug this out of the bins. It was marked at Goodwill for $3.98. But going by the weight on it, I would say that I probably paid about 25 or 30 cents for it. But it's one of the little baby's first Christmas type things again, the koala baby. Let's see, it's got the little reindeer. Got one of these fabulous RCA remotes. And you'll see in one of my other videos how you can test this, but I'll just tell you real quickly. What I usually do, I'll pull these out of the bins and I'll just pull a bunch of them out. And then if I want to test them, I always take the right size batteries with me for any type of electronics so that I can test it. I take it up to the checkout and ask permission to go on and open those up and test them out before I go through the line or anything. And it always fascinates somebody if they haven't seen me do it because they don't know how to test these. But you put your battery in and then you set your phone on a selfie mode. And then when you click on, your phone will recognize your little light right here. You might not recognize it. If I had a battery in here, I'm thinking probably the webcam would recognize it as well. So that's something that you can do. But everybody's got their phone with them, and most people have smartphones. So that's a way that you can test it, make sure it works. These are always 50 cents. I can get anywhere from like $10 to $25 a piece, depending on what they are. I dug out one of these from the bins. It's still covered. It's any of the hard rock stuff I try to grab when I can. It doesn't matter if it's dated or anything else. People like Hard Rock Cafe, and especially if it comes from a different place like London or Cozumel or something like that. I've sold several T-shirts that way. I got 50 cents for that. Also located a clue game. This one happened to have all of the pieces to it. It's well worn on the inside. I won't open it up or anything. But Lorelai was with me, and she helped me count up all the pieces and all of that, and went by the code that was on there, the little description. Everything was in here, but even if it wasn't and I just wanted to part it out, it's amazing what people will pay you for a knife or a lead pipe out of one of these. So that's one of the clue games. It's got all the cards, markers, everything in there. I like to pick up little bags like these, especially when it's coming into Christmas season, because people like to use these reusable bags. And this one has some marker and things on it. I'm going to try and get some of that off. But even if that doesn't come off, I feel like that'll probably sell. If it doesn't come off, I'm not going to sell it in eBay. I'll probably just put it in one of my booths. But it's the Beatles. It's got a tag by Vandor. And it's 2013, so it's fairly new, but it's got some neat stuff in here. Somebody could even use that for crafts if they wanted to do something with crafts with that. So I gave $0.25 for that. Also pick up some of the better name ladies' bras. It depends on what brand they are as to how they'll sell. Victoria's Secret always sells. I always pick it up unless it's in really poor shape. I always pick up the Torrid brand. This one's body frosting. It's not a brand that I've sold before or a type that I've sold before, but if it's the large ladies' bras, these will usually sell. And going by the weight on this, I probably paid about 50 cents or less for this. So it'll probably sell for around maybe 20 to 25, depending on, who the buyer market is that's going on out there. I picked this up at, where did I get this one? I got this one either at the regular Goodwill. It's got the Goodwill tag on it, or the bin store. If I got it at the bin store, I probably paid about this because it's got a 59-cent tag on it. Do or do not, there is no try. So it's got Yoda on there, and that's going to be something. It's shrink wrap still. It's got a little hanger spot here. So that might be something good for somebody for a Christmas present or something like that. It's listed as a wall sign. 8.5 by 12.5, so that'd be something good at Christmas time. So I probably paid 59 cents or less than 50 cents if it was something that I bought at the bin store. Bought this for myself, actually. Yes, I still have a VCR machine, and my grandkids love to watch stuff in my room. I can play DVDs or whatever, but they love to watch the old VCR tapes. I've got a lot of things that I filmed from when my daughter was young, about my granddaughter's age, or a little bit older than that, and a lot of the old commercials and things like that, my grandkids get tickled at them, so they love to watch the old recorded ones. Well, this is one that I didn't have a copy of, and my granddaughter loves Elvis. She's a singer, and she likes to, sing along with the musicals and things like that, so I got this, and we'll probably view that on a Gigi night. I got these for my booth. These are something, you see them all the time. Got the little snowman, actually 2 snowmen, and a Christmas tree. And these are metal. I think I ended up paying $0.25 a piece for these at the bins, and I'll probably just put those in my booth and see if I can just turn them for, $4 or $5 for the set even. If I get something like that, it'll turn over pretty fast, maybe $6, $7, something like that. Out of the bins, I pulled several of these that are still shrink wrapped. It's not anything spectacular, but it's things that will sell, and especially at Christmas time, people do pick up movies and things like that. What women want. Swingers. Got the Jungle Book 2. Billy Elliot. And then Christopher Walken and the Prophet. And all of these were marked $2.99 to $5.99 a piece that were Goodwill prices. But I got these at the bins, so I paid $1 a piece for those. $1 a piece? Yeah, $1 a piece. These I got at Salvation Army. I was looking. This one, it says on here damaged something. Can't really make it out. Don't know if it's just because of my glasses or what. But it had been $15, and it looks like it would have come from the Memphis Zoo here. So it would have come from their gift shop. It's a candle holder. It says damaged, and probably when I do the playback on this, I may end up finding the damage. A lot of times I do that on a webcam. I can actually see the damage on something like that or on a photo. But it was marked $1.99, and I gave half of that. And I actually located 2 of them. So I can do that as a single listing. Put those in there. I don't know if you can see that. They're actually really pretty, and if somebody wanted to come back, they're made out of an unsealed ceramic, or ceramic type of product or whatever. If somebody wanted to do some type of finish on it or something like that, they could do that, or if they want to use it as the incense holder that this is dipped. I don't know. Can you see that? It's dipped in so that you can put the incense up here if you wanted to do that, and then put the candle down at the bottom. So, or some type of oils, not incense, but oils. Hold on. Staying along the same theme, I dug these out of the bin store. These teeny little Buddhas. Got that one. And they've got little bails on the back. Can you see that? That little bail? These are actually plastic, you know, so it's probably something that was in a trinket machine of some sort or whatever. I got the little Buddhas. I got 5 of them. That one. And all of them have little bails. There we go. Got those. And then in another bin, probably 30 or 40 minutes later, I located this. It says, handmade in Nepal by Tibetan handicraft industry for international campaign for Tibet, save Tibet, blah, blah, blah. And it says wind horse prayer flag garland. And so I will probably lot this up. There goes Buddha. He ran off. No, there he is. I'll probably lot these up and just put them in a little lot, either in my booth, but most likely I'll put those on eBay, actually put them out on eBay and see what happens with them. You never know. These little smalls will really surprise you sometimes. I mean, there's people, you know, they sell electronics and they do all these things, and they have $50 here and $100 here or whatever, and they've invested $20 or $30, and it gives them, you know, like for the 50 or 100 or whatever, they might have $20 and something, and it'll give them a good turn. But if you look at the percentage or the ratio of percentage, I mean, on something like this that I've got maybe a quarter in, I think these were 10 cents a piece, so that's 50 cents, and then a quarter on this, I've got 75 cents. You know, it's possible that I'll get around, you know, $7, $8, $9 for something like this, and it happens pretty often, actually. So we're going to put him in the Mr. Bingle cup. I also pick up a lot of little smalls like these type of things that are themed. I like to find a lot of the little trolls. I put them together and I lot them up. He'll go in there with the Buddhas. I located this. This is one for South Haven. It's down in this area, so I may end up putting it in my booth. A lot of people like the Southern Thunder. I actually know the lady that owns the Southern Thunder. She's known all over the nation for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Her uncle owned 2 or 3 of them. They were in Florida, some of the larger places that were down there. He's passed on since then, but I'm a journalism major, and I wrote an article one time for Bling magazine down in this area. It was something that was a local magazine, but it was distributed online, and a lot of people, you know, saw that down in Florida and stuff like that. But I did that on her, actually. But she owns that Southern Thunder. It's a really neat place. If you come to Memphis and you are a Harley person at all, you need to come down to South Haven, which is about probably about 6 or 7 miles below the actual Memphis state line, right at Tennessee and North Mississippi. But that's really a neat place. It's a beautiful place. She's done it with a lot of rustic type of barn wood and things like that on the inside, and it's just everything that you can think of. She's got a lot of old photos of the old places and things like that, you know, and her on her first Harley when she was like 15 or 16 years old. It's really interesting. So tell her that Rhonda sent you. Also, I try to pick up, not all of these are older necessarily, but they are things that will sell. But I try to pick up a lot of the Hot Wheels that are the older, like the 70s on up to the 90s or whatever. This one's not quite as old. You can tell by the bottom of it. You want to look at the bottom of it. But it's a Dodge Charger. A Dodge Charger will sell. A lot of the little old cars. And see, this one's a 69. 1969. I'm talking about the production date on this. And of course, some of the little tricked out trucks and dune buggies and things like that. Several of these, but I'll show you. I got a handful of those. Those are all 10 cents a piece. I thought this one was neat. It's got the clear translucent bottom on it. I don't know if this one has a date. Let's see. Well, it says Malaysia, so that would date it a little bit older. Can't see a date on it, but it's called Cloak and Dagger, so I'll have to look that up. I always have to look these up, although I've got somebody that comes and he buys these from me all the time. He buys some for personal use, and then he flips them himself, and I always sell at flipper prices, you know, because I get them for next to nothing, and I'm out in the wild, finding them out in the wild, so. These cars are going to go in Mr. Bingle, too. That's a big cup. I found the player on this, and then I searched around for quite a while and finally found the set of earphones that went with it. A lot of these old Walkmans, the Sony, you know, any of this type of stuff, a lot of these work really well. This is one that's got the armband on the back. They work really well. They sell really well. This might be something I put in my booth first, just to see how it does, because a lot of times I like to just get it in there, get it sold, get it out. You don't have to ship, all of that kind of stuff. Although I will ship from my booth if somebody wants me to do that. Instead of them shipping it, I can add shipping on there, and you'd be surprised. A lot of times people ask you to do that because they don't want to fool with it either, but, you know, that works for me. This one's one of the all-weather sports one. And it does work. I tried it, and it's actually got a tape in it, but it was just a generic tape that was in there. But I did try it before I left the store, and it does work. I paid $1 for that. And let's see, what else do we have? Those infamous ball caps that I love to buy. I've got Lucky the Leprechaun. And all of these were $1 a piece, I believe. I think I got all of these at the bin store, if I remember right. I'll let you know if I didn't. But that one's like brand new. Got Elvis Presley. He's pretty clean. Eagles sell. So I almost always buy the American Eagle and the American flag. Those two things. Almost always. And along that same line, America. The battle flag. Yes, this is the battle flag. I'm a Southern girl. That's the battle flag. It is what it is. Duckhead. And see, all of these are pretty clean. I don't know if you can tell that. It's kind of pixelating a little bit on this end. See if I can move my light a little bit. Anyway, you get the message. It might look like it's got somewhere right in here, but the rest of this is pretty clean all down through here. Got those, all $1 a piece. And then I got several items of clothing. Embroidery is really hot right now. This is Motherhood, and it is a size small. It's in really good shape. It's got kind of the overlay on it, but it's kind of the boho. Let's see if I can pull it up. Boho look. Pretty sleeve. Isn't that pretty? Just real feminine. Makes mommy feel nice and feminine. And my lights are so bad today. I'm so sorry. Bringing kids in and out and all of that. You know, you just kind of do what you do. Maybe that'll help. If not, just listen. It's got the little tie back. And that weighs probably about 30 cents worth, 40 cents worth at the bins. Lots of scrubs. We got lots of scrubs this time, so I'll go through these really fast. I won't show the brands, sizes, or anything like that, but you'll get to see what I got. But I paid probably 50 cents a piece for these, something like that, and I'll get anywhere from $10 to $15 usually around 10 to 12, something like that. Lots of Christmas, those type of things. This one, just kind of spring. It's varying degrees of Landau and, you know, all different stuff. Most of them are Landau, I think. This one's a long sleeve one, so that's good. It's butterflies, and it's the button-up on the front. It's kind of the button-up. And then this also has the stretch sleeve, the cuff. And they like those because they can pull them up if they are getting hot or they're doing things with their hands and things like that. They like to push it up but still have a little bit of a sleeve on because hospitals can be quite cold, as we all know. This one is a Disney. It's Candy Pirate. And all of these, of course, have the utility pockets and things like that in them. They need those for all of their stuff they stick you with and things. And like White Cross, that's another brand that I ran across quite a bit. We got Halloween coming up, so that'll get up there hopefully this weekend, if not before. This is August, so, you know, needs to be up there. I need to get on with it. I'm too busy working these estates lately. This one is for Easter. I'm going to go ahead and put that up. I never save anything. The only thing that I might save, and really I probably wouldn't do that either, but it would be something along the lines of like a salad shooter or something like that, that the price is going to shoot up, you know, October, November, December, or whatever. I mean, you're going to be getting just astronomical prices for those things, new or used or whatever, you know, you would get, because people, I think, Deborah on Pinching Pesos mentioned this on one of her videos, and I already knew that this was the truth because that's the same thing, you know, that happens to me. But she mentioned it, that people buy traditions. They buy things that we always do it this way. I've always had the salad shooter. We've always made cookies this way, you know, or whatever. And whatever makes them capable of doing something that they always do and forming a tradition, or giving a salad shooter to somebody like their daughter, you know, that's just moved into her home or just got married or something like that, that's going to be something that's going to sell. Well, at the first part of the year, it's going to be slumpy sales and all of that kind of stuff. I might put those up there because it only costs a few cents to list it on eBay, and it's at least it's got the presence there and it's there in my store. I can run it on sale. I can do whatever. I might put a Christmas price on it or a November price on it, October price on it, and be selling it in April, and somebody might snap on it. You never know. If it's not out there, they definitely won't buy it. You know, it's just like having it in these bags sitting in my bedroom. So, anyway, carrying on. I like to carry on sometimes. Start chasing that rabbit. But this is a Betty Boop. I thought this was so cute. This is Trick or Treat. Betty Boop. And she says, boo, trick or treat, all that. And it's got the tie back on it. Are scrubs boring? I don't know. Not if they put money in the bank, they're not. This one's got the one that's got the cross yoke here on the front. See? Those are cute. Those are very flattering. Another little Christmas pattern. A little snowman. Of course, that can be worn after Christmas, you know, because it's snowman. When I worked in a bakery, we wore scrubs, and that's what I always did. I wore winter things, not just Christmas. I would have one Christmas, you know, actual Christmas one that I would wear if I was working Christmas Eve or something like that, or Christmas week or something. But I always bought things that I could wear all season. And one more. This is one that's got the cuff sleeve again, you know, and it's the long sleeve. And this one's a snap front here. And it's the reindeer. Let me turn it around so you can see the pattern. Little reindeer. And it's cute because it's got, some of these have the blues and things in there. It's not just the red and green traditional, although it's got those colors in there. But it opens up the color line for somebody, so I got those. All of those came from the bin. All of those, you know, like I said, I've probably got, you know, $1 in them at the most. Some of them less than that because they're really lightweight. I found this. This is an Ashley Stewart. I'm going to move my Starbucks cup. There. Ashley Stewart. It's marked $39 as bustier. It's got all of its tags and everything. And unless I've missed something, it's been a little bit since I looked at this. I probably need to look at it again. But it's got the faux zipper trim on there. It does zip up on the front. It's got the stretch back. Okay. And it's the vegan leather. I've talked about that in some of my other videos. I put the word vegan in there because it's fake. You know, it's faux. You don't want to put the word fake, but you can put faux in there if you want to. But I found that people will look for the word vegan and then they'll say, I like that. That's a cool little piece. I probably paid, on the weight of it, because it's not real heavy since it's not actually leather, I probably paid around 50 cents for that too, I think. And then the last two items were something that my granddaughter came across. She's getting a good eye on her, and she likes she likes a lot of the same things I do. So when she gets something, I go, I wish I had that. Not to sell, just to keep. And she always tells me I can buy it from her. You know, so. It's cute. It's just a slouchy hobo style, you know, and it expands kind of on the bottom, but it's just a slouchy little style. It's got the peace symbols on there. Extremely clean inside. Wasn't marked up, marred up, or anything like that. It's got the inside zipper pocket. Doesn't have any special brand or anything like that. It was $5.99 and she gave half of that. And of course, you can see that it came from Salvation Army. So I thought that was cute. I'll put that up there for her. She's selling really well. She's 9, so she still has to sell under someone else's account and everything. But she's just doing really well. I think she is. Of course, she's my granddaughter. And then the other one, I told her a while back, boy, she snatched this right out from under me. I had seen it. She didn't know I saw it. I was headed over there to get it, and then she got it, so I was excited for her. But I sell a lot of these that are like made in Nepal and places like that. These will sell every single time at Blue Moon Gifts, where Miss Becky has some of our things. And I think right now I'm out of them, or I may have one left over there. So I'm going to let my granddaughter price this one up, and we're going to put that over at Miss Becky's and see if it'll sell. It had been $6.99 for $3.50, and we can usually get around $10 to $12 for it. And for me as a reseller, you know, I wouldn't have probably paid this much for it, but for her to turn it over for a little bit, it'll give her some encouragement. So we'll probably put $15 on it and see what we can get for it, because this one's like brand new. I don't think it's been used at all. So that is all for today. That is the second part and the last part of the Eclipse Day haul. I hope you had fun on Eclipse Day. We did. We had Eclipse donuts from Krispy Kreme. That was exciting. And of course, my kids and my grandkids were all here. My son-in-law was working nights tonight, but he got up early, And we just had a lot of fun getting to see what God's handiwork is all about, because that's what it is. It's God's handiwork. You can stand there and you can watch things happen and just go, you know, I am so little in such a big place. It's really a neat feeling. Hope you have a good rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Happy junking.